Hey, this is Learning Again with Truly Writer. Again, Truly Writer is my pen, writing, and media name, so you probably won't see my face. We're continuing Big Thoughts for Little People by Kenneth N. Taylor, ABCs to Help You Grow. Like I said before, it would have been helpful if there was an audio to give you each distinct sound of each letter, but for whatever reason, that was not provided with this book, or it was sold separately and wasn't sold as a set. But I have changed my stance a little bit because no positive changes are being made, no different materials being given to me. So a part of me just wants to stop talking to people like audibly or through hearing and be like, I'm sorry, we can only communicate by writing face to face because I don't think you understand what I'm saying. And kind of go from there, because if that was the first change that happened for positivity, where you at least get written the written language with the proper words and spelling of words and the proper definitions and the meanings of words, whether they're positive or negative words, then it's like, well, at least you could communicate effectively using like 26 letters way better than trying to speak mix match, which means like wrong sounds to the wrong letters, which I think is what's going on, but I don't have any proof other than the fact that everything is wrong in my life. Nothing works properly. It seems like there is someone out there who's speaking negative words over me. So one day something will work, and then something happens and they speak negative words, and that thing doesn't work properly anymore. So it's a very irritating, annoying, negative environment that I am in, and I'm doing my best to be positive and look for the positive things. So I did take a walk this morning, walked around the whole entire block of where I live, and tried to speak blessings over my future environment so positive changes could be made. But I have reached out to different individuals. I think I mentioned on this channel in a different video, I contacted President Trump of the United States of America and the governor of New York State, and they both didn't do anything to implement positive changes for me. So I don't think they are going to do anything. So it's like, until, people actually do something to make those positive changes, like, well, you can write a thank you letter of thank you, will make this country or this state a positive environment together. Well, it's like, well, if everyone in that state or region isn't doing their part to make positive changes, then the positive changes aren't going to actually be made. So you need everyone in agreement in your area where you live. And so people, what's coming across to me is people talk the talk. So they tell you to be more positive, but then they're not willing to do anything to implement the positive changes that they say they want. So it's like, I'm sorry, you're not saying what you really mean. So I keep thinking, oh, maybe I just do not have the ability to communicate with anyone unless at some point I switch to just writing only and get rid of the audio. But people that I interact with, they keep wanting to talk verbally, and it's like, well, maybe we should just be writing, because it's like it comes across that you don't understand what I'm saying, because literally they say my education system of how I was taught was fine. And they say the religion that I was taught was 100% fine. And it's like, well, maybe they're not reading what I'm reading or comprehending what I'm able to comprehend by reading. So I At some point I may have to switch off and do writing only, but I probably won't do that through video. Anyways, so let's continue. This is Christian material. If you have Christian children or Christian teenagers, is this a book you would use to help teach children the alphabet or moral lessons? Okay, we left off with singing, and we're going to compare scripture with scripture. Sing to the Lord with thankful hearts, Colossians 3:16. They reference the Living Bible. This is the adult version. There may be a different version for kids. So Colossians 3:16. Remember that Christ taught, and let his words enrich your lives and make you wise. Teach them to each other and sing them out in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing to the Lord with thankful hearts. So that was definitely longer verse than what was applied here. So the next letter that we're going to go over today is the letter T. T is for thankful. Thank God for your lunch, and thank him for dinner and breakfast and brunch. The children in this picture are thanking God for their food. Many children in the world don't have enough to eat. They are hungry all the time, but we have good breakfasts and lunches and suppers and sometimes even snacks in between. So we should thank God every day that we have enough to eat. That's why we bow our heads before we eat and say thank you to God. What are some things you are thankful for? Well, I'm thankful that I went for a walk. Unfortunately, it's hard to be 100% thankful, so I mix positivity and negativity together. I wish I could walk the whole block without any cars or vehicles driving by, or without seeing anyone face to face. I would like that whole entire time of walking the block where it's like I don't see anyone at all, but that's not what happens. So I feel like that peaceful time gets interrupted when I see a car drive by or when I see another individual. But so I am thankful that for the time when I feel alone and like no one's around. Okay, who are some people you are thankful for? Well, I don't have anyone in my life that is a real living being that actually loves and cares about me truly and wants to truly communicate with me. The people that I live with, they keep trying to force me to believe a false religion. So, and they claim to be my real genetic biological parents, and they believe we all came from the same individual. So I'm not thankful for those individuals at all. However, I am thankful for, this stuffed animal. This is my one and only true friend right now, Snuggles. You might have seen Snuggles on the laundry fabric softener and detergent commercials. So I had this when I was a kid. So sometimes I have Snuggles be my friend and I have Snuggles talk to me. So I'm thankful for Snuggles as my real true friend and that I can vent or tell Snuggles anything and Snuggles doesn't condemn me. So, I'm thankful that I do have some money still in my account, that I can still order some things that I need, because I did buy some new clothes that fit more comfortably. But you never know, if someone spoke negative words over them in the future, they could make it so those clothes don't fit again. So it's like, well, I can only be thankful for what I have right now. I'm thankful that I have food. I'm thankful that I have shelter. I do not have a vehicle. I'm thankful that I do have liquids that I can drink and get liquids in my body like water, juice, and tea, herbal tea to be exact. So, hopefully, but as far as religion, I don't believe in religion right now because this is the only religion right now that I have available to me, is that everyone comes from Adam's genetics, which seems morally disgusting to me. So I'm not going to be thankful for a false religion. But people want me to be thankful for that and be saved in a false religion for some reason. Okay, when should we thank God for food? So that's another thing I am thankful for. I do have the ability to speak blessings as I'm able to. When should we thank God for food? Well, I don't thank God for food anymore because this religion was proven to be false. Because I tried it out. I prayed to God pretty much every day, tried to have a personal relationship with Jesus and God the Father. And, they didn't protect me from evil individuals who spoke negativity over me behind my back. And then there is a problem of, for some reason, I have the ability to hear stuff from a distance of like what people could be saying verbally over me somehow. And so they were saying a lot of negative, very gross, religious stuff that is really perverted. And it's like, well, that's really what made me not believe this religion anymore, because they were saying a bunch of very gross, perverted stuff over my real name. And there was even this false impression that I got where it's like they claimed I was going to marry someone. I was praying for God's leading to help direct me to the right individual of who to marry, and I kept getting a first name and last name over and over and over and over and over again, and that individual turned out to go off and marry someone else. So I don't have a like designated spouse. Like, this is the only individual you're ever gonna be with in a sexual way. And like in this false religion, they're teaching like, oh, you can choose and marry whoever you want. And it's like, well, if you could change your name, and be like, I can choose whatever name I want, and my designated spouse can choose whatever name they want, that would be like, you're still locked into a designated spouse, but they're like, no, you can choose whoever you want to marry. And so it was coming across like, oh, people believe in adultery, where you have sex with this individual, then the next individual, and then the next individual, and then they're saying there's homosexuality all over the world, where there's same sex, a romantic gender sex going on with individuals, and it's like, and they're all saying it really happened. And so it's like you live in this gross, perverted culture, and you're like, how am I supposed to be thankful if people are like, oh yeah, boy and a boy got together romantically and they had sex. A girl and a girl got together romantically and they had sex. Oh, and they believe that you can become wife and wife and husband. And then you have a religion where it's like, oh, it was okay for Abraham to marry his half sister, which is sexual incest. And it's like, I want to get out of this religion, but it's like the only option right now. So, but I was told that you could choose to be agnostic. So I'm agnostic right now, but the people who claim to be my genetic biological parents, boy and girl, mother and father, mom and dad, daddy and mommy, or whatever, they're like, this is the true religion. We all came from Adam. Adam and Eve were genetically related to each other because Eve came from Adam's rib. And we're all related genetically to Adam and Eve. Isn't it wonderful? We're your real parents. And you're like, when you're finally comprehending the false religion, you're like, I want out. Can we switch to a better, truthful religion or something that could be, false? And no one's doing anything to make any positive changes. They're like, this really happened. The ones that created everybody in some way, they allowed this to happen. Isn't it wonderful? Jesus is going to come and make everything better. I'm just like, this is a sexually immoral religion. I don't think Jesus is going to come. And they're like, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I'm like, no, he's not. I don't think this is going to happen at all because it's very gross and a disturbing religion. And literally in this religion, if someone rapes a girl, that girl has to marry them. Why? Well, if you have a designated spouse, that would make sense that like your genetics line up with theirs to be 100% compatible only for marriage as husband and wife, then that girl would have to marry that individual. But that's not what this religion teaches at all. Like, it's like, and then people are like, oh yeah, this guy, he was a serial rapist and he went around and he raped a bunch of different individuals. And it's like, oh my gosh, this society's so scary. It's so perverted. It's so sick. I can't handle it. And then people are like, oh yeah, so you get all your nutrition by eating a dead living being, which is an animal or a beast or something like that. And it's like, well, if something smells stinky, like a dead corpse, have you smelled a dead corpse? Why would you want to eat a dead corpse? But they're like, yeah, you get all your nutrition from a dead living being that was once living or whatever, which doesn't make any sense. So it's like, there are certain things that I'm just not going to be able to be thankful for. So I'm thankful that I have food. I'm thankful that I have clothes. I'm thankful that I have some money left in my bank account. I'm thankful I have shelter and water and liquids. I'm thankful for a toilet that works because in my warped environment, you have to poop out some of your food because you don't fully digest it all. And you have to urinate some of the liquid out of your body. So there's multiple times a day I have to go to the bathroom. So I am thankful for a toilet. I'm thankful for a shower and hot water, and a stove so I can cook my own meals and stuff like that for the most part. So I'm doing my best to find the positivity. And again, I am thankful for Snuggles because Snuggles right now is my only true friend. So I do believe in self-love. So let's try to find those ladybugs. Okay, no ladybugs over here. Is there ladybugs on this page? On the shirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm getting about 5. How many ladybugs did you find? So thank you for allowing me to vent, to express positivity and negativity. Again, if you can't handle negativity and positivity, please go find another channel to watch. And feel free to put in the description below what you're thankful for. And would you use this to teach children moral lessons or help teach children the alphabet if they don't know the alphabet? So until next time, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you're watching this video.